Wow.
Well, listen, we are back together and if you see us looking full, replenished, satiated, maybe a little tipsy, Tina, is because Nick and I just spent the last couple of hours doing grocery shopping and some cooking.
You can watch the vlog on our Patreon. Link in
It's-
description.
And not to bait, to be honest, but the idea came from some suggestions from Town Council and Trust and Believers. And we have been toying about it for a bit. And then I was like, let's just go ahead and do it. Nick needed to do groceries, which you'll
did.
see what groceries means to Nick.
I
But
rebuke the judgment.
Nick did groceries. And I was there present for the first time. And then for the first time ever, I guess, I mean, I don't want to be presumptuous, but I'm Pioneer Peru.
I'm Trailblazer
And
Nick.
this is
Pioneers
Pioneers and
and
Trailblazers,
Trailblazers.
second to last episode of the season.
Ah.
But I don't want to be presumptuous. When is the last time, I think, perchance Isabel, I think, would say has cooked for you maybe at their house?
Yes,
At their
I've had
apartment?
a home cooked meal. I've also made myself a home cooked meal.
No, I'm talking about like I don't think that I cooked for you pasta one time, you and Thomas, and that wasn't my best showing either because I was scattered all over the place that day I made that pasta.
That's when we watched the
Swan, I think,
the swans,
right?
the capote and the
Yeah,
swans.
which that was the only episode I ever watched.
I know I didn't watch any of the
I
rest
didn't
of
watch
it.
any of the rest of the episodes. But I was like, oh my god, let's I want to do a little home cooked meal with Miss Nick. I want to like do something that they don't typically cook in general at home. I guess not the way that I guess I cook, which was pretty evident. There were some losses. R.I.P. to
my thumbnail.
to the which you will find. It was definitely captured on video. But if you want to see an entire vlog of us going to Trader Joe's, bantering, then coming here, cooking Rachel Ray style,
Mhm.
and then just having a good time, link is in the description to come join us on the Trust and Believer tier. That's going to be the bonus episode for this month. So,
Wait, no, but I was prefaced before we started recording that a townsperson had submitted something on our Google form about me that was a read, and now I want to hear it. So can we get into it?
Oh, is that what you're stiff? Is that what you're stiff?
It's from a 21-year-old.
It's from the town council assembly or a Trust and Believer. It's on the Patreon.
Okay, but it's
All right,
from a
so
21-year-old.
Yes.
Okay, I don't. Well, if it's something mean and nasty and hateful, you're too young to understand what it's like to be 26.
No, it's not. Oh, okay, Diva. Okay, you should take it with a grain of salt, like I did last.
Oh, I will.
I got critiqued.
I will, but I'm a little tipsy, so I'm
You know
feeling
how
like
I
I
got
want to fight.
critiqued? You know how I took it in stride and didn't make an issue about it at all?
Right, of course, you handled it with such grace. Absolutely. My sister would never freak out over something someone said about her.
Okay, so we're gonna address this as a town because this is literally in response to last week's episode. 'Cause-
Last week.
yeah.
What did I do last week? What did I do last week to piss the people off?
Okay, I'm gonna read this. All right. A 21-year-old, either a town council member or trust and believer, not sure, but shout out, love you, love you.
I won't say
sister.
that until I hear what she said.
All right. No offense to Miss Nick, but damn, show more interest, give feedback, show curiosity towards Peru when he was talking about Carol G or Latin topics. Like, your co-partner is Latin, be interested in his roots. I don't know, girl. Learn about other cultures, countries, not just white pop culture.
Okay. That's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I thought, listen, maybe we just have different interpretations. I thought I was fairly, this must have been from the Patreon. Patreon we talked about.
Oh, you're right. That was like our
We talked about some pop girlies and then.
it was Tony's pop culture and then.
All I said was I was not familiar with her work. And then you sent me her Instagram and I literally watched her Instagram and I went, okay, yes. So, like, and I'm sorry, like, you know what? I heard.
see.
I don't know how else to respond to that, but heard. Okay.
You're learning.
I'm listening.
Hey,
I'm learning.
You're listening today. It is No King's Day, please. We're recording this on No King's Day. Fuck the military.
Mhm.
The
the only king in my life will be my future husband, who I will treat like a king, sweetie. I'll cook for him. I'll clean for him. I'll fucking kiss his feet. I won't do all that. I hate men in that way. But
I will say, I guess I was looking back at the episode. I looked back at the chunk, And I guess
Oh, you went back.
of course I went back, because I want to make sure. I was like, oh, I want to see.
Oh, so you agree with them?
I mean, I'm not saying I don't.
Wow, my own sister. Everyone's attacking me.
Oh, so now you're white victim. Wow, you're the white victim who poor white person got attacked to say that they don't really have interest in other cultures.
Just call me Robin DiAngelo the way I have white fragility.
But let me tell you, to this town council member or trust and believer, so sorry we cannot check on the form, but I will say this. If there's anything that Nick showed while I was doing my cooking segment today, it was interest. Miss Nick went in there, was chopping the onions. No, not the onions, sorry. You chopped the tomato. Is that, no,
I chopped the chicken.
Oh, it was in the chicken. No, you chopped something before when you cut your...
Oh, that was the garlic. I cut
the garlic. We were trying to do some, but anyway. So there was definitely interest there in just what's happening. I think the very first words that came out of like Nick's mouth was like, "Oh, I had no idea that's how you peeled garlic," and it was really interesting. There was definitely a lot of learning, and I don't know. Maybe next time you're introduced to someone like Carol G, maybe like ask. Maybe ask more questions. I guess maybe it's what this person's trying to like allude to.
Sure. No, and I hear you. I'm sorry that the questions did not come to mind in that moment. I'm sorry that I'm such an awful person. And I'm so evil and so nasty and just so hateful towards my sister. I'm listening and I'm learning.
You're so good though. So thank you for submitting that. Thank you for putting light on something that really needed to be put lit on.
Mm-hmm.
To be lit on.
Right.
Oh, also, we didn't even show. I want to show the townspeople.
What?
Hey, we have a special guest today. It is this raw condom packet.
Because I think that's the only condom I have left. But and the rest of them are like, I have are like Trojan ones that are ribbed.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't know that Trojan made one called raw.
They're like so thin it feels like you're having bear sex.
Should we open it?
No, I need it.
Oh, clearly not.
Well, I tried to use it. Honestly, maybe I'll just get into it. DL Puerto Rican trade from last week.
Oh my God.
Let's just say he came over yesterday and it was not at all. Well, I don't know if you can see for the visual learners. I have a hickey on my neck.
Bad neck.
The thing is like when he was like, there was a moment, I know exactly when he gave it to me because it was like literally right before he finished, and he like pulled me in like really close and like just started sucking my neck, and I was like, oh, but I didn't feel like it was hard enough to leave a hickey. But sure enough, he did, because my roommate was like, oh, you have a hickey on your neck. And I was like, fuck. But it was so strange because we had made plans in the afternoon for him to come over at 4. Like, we set a time. He said 4 o'clock, I'll be at your apartment. And I said, great. He told me he was going to be in my neighborhood at like 3 for an appointment. And
wait, before you continue, do you have a charger, a USB-C charger for me? For my phone?
I have like a little one. It's on my...
okay.
You're gonna have to
because I'm gonna go. I want to have my phone to be at 42 when I go out.
Oh, okay.
I'm listening.
So then anyway, we made plans for 4 o'clock or whatever. So I go to the gym. While I'm at the gym, it's like noon. He texts me to confirm the time that we're meeting up, and I was like, okay, great. Yes, he's checking in. Perfect. So that's not the right charger, sweetie. It's a black one. It's on the desk thing, like the table. You have to sift through all my stuff to find it. It's like short. Because DL Trade used it. Nope, that's my... No, forward. Front of the table. Move my headphones. Move my headphones. It should be sitting somewhere. Nope. It's a black cord. It's a little short black cord. Nope. There you go. God, that took fucking forever. So then anyway, so I was like, okay, he can...
Yeah, like you chopping anything.
Girl, that's not a good comeback. So then we made those plans. I come home. I get home at 1 o'clock. I go, okay, I have 3 hours to get ready. So I'm like, let me douche. You have to plug it into the wall, girl. Oh my God. It's just like, it's like having a toddler. So then anyway, I get home. I'm getting ready. I start douching. I'm on the toilet. I push out the first douche flush. Okay. All of a sudden I hear bzzz, bzzz. It's my fucking apartment being rung up. I go, who the hell? I go out to my living room. I look out the window. I see it's a UPS driver. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I said, okay. So I quickly throw on like my shorts or whatever. I run downstairs. He was like, hey, I have a couple of big boxes for like not my apartment, for a different apartment. And I was the only one home. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So I like let him like move all the boxes into the lobby. And then he's like, thank you. And I said, yep, have a good one. I go back upstairs. I do another pass through with the douche. I'm pushing it out the water. I'm sitting there. All of a sudden I hear bzzz, bzzz, bzzz. I'm like, girl, who the hell? I look out the window. It's a fucking Amazon delivery driver. I was like, girl, I open up the front door. I run downstairs. Again, I'm at this point, I was fully naked. So I throw on clothes. I run downstairs. Because again, like I can't buzz people in from my apartment. I have to like physically go down to the front door to unlock it. And so then I go and he's like, oh, I have really big boxes. And I was like, that's fine. He fucking takes forever to bring them into the lobby. And then I'm like, okay, thank you. Have a good one. He goes, oh no, I got to take a picture of them. And so then he's like trying to figure out how to take a picture with his phone. And I was like, sir.
He's just doing his job.
I know.
Okay?
I know he's doing his job. But at this point, I was like, at this point, I had an hour. I can't remember like how it happened, but things kept coming up and I kept like, the time kept extending. And I was like, I have to wash my hair. It's hair wash day. I have to shave my face. Like I have all these things that I have to do. I have to clean my bedroom all before this man comes because, you know, I'm trying to like have an enjoyable experience. I don't want him to come over and be like, damn, this bitch lived like this. That's crazy. So then he takes the picture. I run back upstairs, douche, shower, wash my hair, whole 9 yards, and then I come home. Then I clean my room, and then I wait, and then it's 4 o'clock, and then I don't hear anything from him, and I go, oh, and then it's 5 o'clock, and I go, oh, still no text, and I went, okay, I think I'm being stood up. 6 o'clock rolls around. I go, are you fucking kidding me? It's 6:30.
But I love the idea that Nick 2.5 hours later is like being like, I think I got stood up. I'm like, yo, and I said, Nick, what? Like the first thing that I would do, me personally, I would within 30 minutes of 4 p.m. I would have been like, hey, are you coming? Because I wouldn't just be waiting around.
Well, the thing was, I wasn't just like waiting around, but I was like,
I guess you were at home and like you were.
I was doing other stuff, but
I
was like, I was in such a rush to like get ready for him to come at a specific time. So the fact that he like was not here at a certain time, I was like, why did I rush to get all of that done? So then anyway, all of a sudden it's like 6:30. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get dinner. I'm hungry. So then I leave. I go get dinner. When I get back to my apartment, I finish eating. He goes, hey, what's up? That's all he fucking says. And then I was like, I'm just at home. And then he calls me and he like has this like excuse of like, oh, my phone was like broken. It was dead. I just got it. Oh, your recording stopped. Okay. And so I got dinner. I'm eating. He texts me, what's up? And then he calls me and he was like, oh my God, like my phone has been dead. I just got it back on. Like I had to go to this place in Brooklyn to get my battery. Like I get a new battery. Like I couldn't go to Apple. It was like this whole thing. And it's like this
also,
whole.
Like, get a new battery for your iPhone.
No, and
like,
you know what he said to me? You know what he said to me? He goes, and you know how like the battery's like the life of the phone, you know? And I was like, no, I'm aware how phones work. Dude, like I was like, you're coming up with this excuse to like explain like what, like why you were gone, like or whatever. I don't know what he was doing. Frankly, I do not care.
Neither did he.
No, and frankly, I don't care. But then anyway, he's like, sorry, it just like took me so long. You still want me to pull through though? And I was like, yeah, girl, I'm not doing anything for the rest of the night. I'm like horny, so I was like, yeah, come over because the sex is good. And so then I was like, yeah, whatever. He's like, so when should I pull through? And I said, well, it sounds like you're going through something, like your phone's like acting up. I was like, maybe figure that out before you get here. And he was like, nah, like true. He's like, so an hour? And I was like, yeah, that's fine, like whatever. So then
no way,
so then
would never.
An hour later, he texted me and he was like, hey, I'm 20 minutes. You ready? And I was like, I've been ready since 4. Like, yes, I'm ready.
My battery's fully charged.
Like, girl, like, I've been douched for hours. Like, yes, I'm ready. So then he comes over, and my roommate's home. And listen, he never told me. I could tell. I got, like, the sense of it. But before when I first met him, he's DL. But, like, he never said that to me flat out before. Like, never, whatever. And I did tell him when we had made plans earlier in the week for him to come over. He was like, can I come Friday afternoon? And I said, well, my roommate will probably be working from home. But, like, it'll be fine. Like, if you're chill, I'm chill. And he didn't have anything against that. Like, he didn't say, like, oh, no. Because, like, there have been other times where DL men have hit me up and they, like, want to come over. And I'm like, well, my roommate's home. But, like, yeah, if you want to come. And they're like, oh, no. I don't want to come when your roommate's there. And it's like, girl, she doesn't know you. Like, she's not going to out you. Like, what do you mean? Like, you don't know each other. But so then anyway, he, like, comes over. As soon as I let him in, I can tell that he's like under the influence of something. Like he's not drunk, but he's certainly on drugs.
Yeah,
And so
which is the worst too, because at least, well,
I was like, at first I was like, oh, he smoked a joint or something. Like he's high, like whatever. I was like, I had smoked before he got here too. Like I smoked a joint. Like I was like, because I wanted to relax, and make my butthole loose for him to hit. and I bought new poppers the night on Thursday. Thursday I bought a brand new bottle of poppers. I was like, I'm ready to go.
How much were they, by the way?
I don't want to talk about it. I think I bought the popper.
That small bottle over there?
That small bottle.
Is that Jungle Juice or?
It's a Jungle Juice Platinum.
Platinum, yeah, the silver one.
So I got the bottle of Jungle Juice, I got a singular joint, and I got a pack of Skittles, and that altogether was $30.
Oh, that's not bad at all. So they sold you the poppers for like what, $16?
Probably like $16-20.
Oh, in-house kitchen girl, that small one's going for $22.
Really?
It's crazy.
It's fucked up.
There's the tariffs.
So
if
then,
there's any left.
Girl. So then anyway, and so then I was like, okay, so he's like, he's under the influence of something. He like comes into my apartment. It's a hot day yesterday. Like it was summer, like in the high 80s. So like he was like acting a little bit strange. He like comes in. And then he was like, I need to use the bathroom, but my roommate was taking a shower. So I was like, okay, like, I'll let you know when she's out of the bathroom. Like, we can just chill in my room. He then sits on the floor, doesn't, like, sit on my bed. And he was like, oh, sorry, like, I was on the train. Like, I don't want to put my outside clothes on your bed. And I was like, that's fine. I was like, whatever. So then we're, like, he's sitting literally right there on my floor.
Which is so weird. Like,
and I'm sitting
talk about odd behavior.
And I'm sitting on my bed, and I'm wearing, like, a cute, tight little fucking, like, wife beater, like, that I, like, cut to a crop top. And I'm just, like, wearing my basketball shorts. And I'm like... So, like, how's your day? Like, I'm, like, making small talk, and he's just, like, acting so awkward.
And he's not even thinking. He's just, like...
No, and he, like, wouldn't look me in the eye and, like, whatever. And he's like, oh, it's really hot in here. And I was like, oh, I have my AC going. He was like, yeah. He's like, it's hot. And I was like, okay. And then eventually I was like, let me just see if she's out of the bathroom. She's out of the bathroom. I'm like, okay, can you use the bathroom? He goes, okay, great. My door, I didn't close my door. Like, the door was open. He's in the bathroom. All of a sudden I hear... in there, and I was like, I'm sorry, he's storing drugs in my apartment. What's going on? And so then I was like, I will never see this man again. Like in that moment, I'm thinking to myself, I will never see him again. I was like, we'll have sex one more time, and then we'll move on.
Oh, so what time is this?
This is like 8 o'clock.
It's like 8 o'clock, like girl.
And the sun wasn't down. The sun hadn't even set.
I mean, he was already partying way before 4 p.m. when he forgot to show up the first time, or like just ignored the meeting time. So Misting had been partying since then. You know what I mean?
Which is crazy because like every single other time.
And again, I guess party your life away, but like also don't have someone else just not tell them what you're doing.
But the crazy thing is like up until this point, every single time we had made plans, he was always checking in right at that time to like see if I was still down. And like I had rain checked and postponed like a couple of times before we finally met up last week for the first time. But like he's always been, from my experience in my like maybe 1 month of talking to him, he's been very like diligent about being on time and checking in and stuff. So I was like, this is like just different weird behavior. I was like something was off. And so then anyway, so he comes back into my room, and as soon as he comes back, he like starts undressing and stuff, and then we start like hooking up. But like the first time he came over, we would like made out for so long. There was so much foreplay. He like did not kiss me at all. He immediately was like, just show me that ass. And I was like, oh, okay. And so then I like okay. And then he's like, get on all fours. So I get on all fours. He kind of eats my ass a little bit. And then he just like is ready to fuck. He like wants to fuck so bad. And I was like, okay, let me get the lube. Let me get the poppers. He didn't ask me about a condom, but he had asked about a condom the very first time, but I grabbed one anyway. All of a sudden, I see him pulling out a condom from his pocket and putting it on. I was like, oh, okay.
Miss Raw.
And I
said,
Miss
Raw is not being used.
No, Miss Raw was not being used. So then anyway, and so then we start having sex. It's good. And the sex is really good. And then as he's getting into it, he like will look me in the eyes and stuff and whatever. And the whole time he's like, yeah, you like this? And I was like, yeah. And he really liked it. He said it after the first time we fucked. He like really liked how I was pretty verbal during all of it. And he was like, yeah, like that's so hot. And he was like, tell me how much you want it. And like the whole time we're having really good sex. We're in all different positions, whatever. He was like, remember that I start better. I need to start and writing it. So I was writing it and whatever and all this sort of stuff. And then next thing I know, he like wants to finish so bad. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I thought we were going to have like sort of like a prolonged sort of experience because he came pretty early.
But then, I guess you.
And the last time we fucked, he fucked me twice. He fucked me twice in that night. So I was kind of expecting like he's coming early. I'm like, oh, he wants to go multiple rounds because he made it such a point the first time.
I heard. When you said that, I didn't hear he fucked me twice. I heard he Mike Tyson. He Mike Tyson your ass out of the map.
But he like made a point. He's like, no, I can go multiple rounds. I want to go multiple rounds with you. And I was like, okay, work. And so then, but then it just was not happening. And so then anyway, he finished, did not do anything for me, which is stark contrast from the very first time we hooked up, where he like wanted to make sure that I was like comfortable and made sure I got off.
He was just trying to get it done while he had his high going.
Yeah, and then wanted to get the fuck out of there. And I was like, ooh. But like the thing is like, had this happened to me like years ago, I probably would have really internalized it and been like, what's wrong with me? Like, what's like, why is this man so like fucked up? And like this makes me feel so gross. Honestly, I just wanted to get my nut. And like, I still enjoyed it. Like the sex was still good for me or whatever. And then he sucked my neck so hard, he gave me a hickey. And then all of a sudden he finishes and then he's like done. And then we took a break in between because like he was getting really sweaty. And I was like, do you need a break? And he was like, oh, like, do you need one? And I was like, well, yeah, like, let's just take a break for a second. So then we're laying down, but I could tell that he was like kind of like itching, like he wasn't like closing his eyes. Like I was like, like, do you ever take breaks and like you kind of like nap in between?
No.
Or like you just like are cuddling and you're just like in between session, like you're chit chatting and like whatever.
No, not unless I'm like dating or like with Miss T, that would be the case. Like, oh, it's just like hang out, talk, and then whatever, and then get flirty and horny again, and then like go back to it, that because there was more of an established connection, but not with just some.
Well, and that's what I thought we had.
And Upper West Side Daddy, yes, a little bit, yeah.
Well, the thing was, like, I thought we did because the very first time we hooked up was last week. When we were like took a break in between.
Take it from me, honey. A lot can change in 1 week.
Oh, and plus I learned.
Take it from me.
But when we took a break, we were like cuddling and chit chatting, and he was asking me all these questions about myself, and we were whatever, and we were like,
he wasn't high.
Right. He was just drunk. And so then
he didn't bring any bread this time. Like,
no,
what the hell?
like he was not his charming self, and like the way that he was when I first met him, and I was like, this is like a very
effect of drugs.
I was like,
kids don't do drugs.
I think he was on K. I think he was snorting K in my bathroom. Title of it. But so then anyway, like I could tell that he was like itching to like get going because he kept jerking himself off, and like with his condom on, and I was like, okay, he wants to finish. So I was like, how do you want me? And then he's like, I really want to fuck you, doggy. I said, great. He's fucking me, doggy. And then he finishes. And then he like gets up and he takes the condom off, and I was like, I can take that from you or whatever. And then he asked for like a washcloth so he can like wipe up, and I said sure, so I go get one or whatever. And then all of a sudden he's getting dressed and he's like, okay, I gotta go. I go, oh, you gotta go. And then he was like, yeah, I have another link that I have to make. He's like, oh, like hopefully it goes by quick. I have to like, I have an appointment or whatever.
What appointment?
I was like, what?
Okay.
And so then I was like, well, you see, and then I said to him, because I could tell that he was on K, because I was like, he's acting like very he's acting like very like slow and like moving in a way that I'm like, okay. And he was telling me he got there, he's like, yeah, I'm just like so tired, it's been such a long day. And then I was like, so where's your next like appointment like you have to go to? I was like, where is it, at least in the neighborhood, because he doesn't live very far from me. And he was like, oh, it's in Jersey. And I was like, I'm sorry, you're going to Jersey right now? At this point, it was maybe like
no way
8:39, and I was like,
no way he was doing that either. To be honest,
no, he made that up. But I literally said to him, I was like, I'm sorry, you're going to Jersey at this hour? I'm like, you look so tired. And he was like, yeah, like hopefully it's quick. And then he's getting dressed, and then he gets dressed, and he goes, well, this was fun. He goes, I don't know when or if I'll ever see you again. And I go, oh, if.
Okay, Pride and Prejudice.
I was like, oh. And then he was like, yeah, like I feel so shitty since it's like Pride Month, but I gotta get into my celibacy era. And I was like, oh, no, heard. And he's like, yeah, like I don't. Oh, my sister's choking. And then he goes, yeah, like I don't want to seem like one of those asshole DL guys, but like I'm not out. And I was like, oh no, I figured. I gathered as such. And then he was like, yeah, like yeah, I just like I need to be celibate. And I go, oh cool. I was like, I just got out of my celibacy era. I'm like trying to get back into it. And he was like, no, I like really need to be celibate. And I was like, girl, I'm not trying to like continue this on.
Girl,
like,
after you said that, I would have taken my Doxy Pep as soon as you left.
Oh, I did. But the thing,
which, quick reminder, sorry, medical corner. We're not medical doctors here, but just a quick medical corner from having learned. Please take your Doxy Pep together. Do not separate it. As opposed to popular belief, I thought because it made my tummy crummy, I used to separate them, take one in the daytime, take one later, just have a full meal, and then take both at the same time for it to like be as effective as possible. Just a quick advice on doxypap. Thank you.
So then he gets his stuff and he like his shoes are in the hall. And so he like, so I'm like gonna walk him out, and so then we like walk whatever, and my roommate is like in the living room, and she's like getting ready for a night out, so she's like dressed to go out, and he like sees her, and she sees him, and she goes, "Hey," and immediately he's like a deer in headlights, and he turns, and he like looks at me, and he like grabs his shoes, and he like bolts back to my room. Like he like goes to hide, and then he's like, "Oh, I'll just and then like comes back to my room and is like putting his shoes on in my bedroom, and then I'm like I was like obviously not gonna make things weird, so I'm like asking my roommate like, "Oh, like you decided you're gonna go out tonight, like where are you going? We're making small, like we're chatting or whatever." Whole time he's just like sitting there like in the corner, just like waiting for her to get in her room so we can like leave without seeing her. And I was like, and then finally I was like, okay, and then I like he's like, I'm gonna go. I was like, yep, you can go, sweetie. And so then I like walk him out to the door, and I was like, okay, have a good one. And he's like, yep, bye. And then he leaves, and as soon as he like starts going down the stairs, I close the door, I turn back, and I make eye contact with my roommate, and I was like, bitch, you will, what the fuck was that? And so then she's like, what happened? And I told her this whole story, and we were just like talking about it, like so fucking weird. This guy, again, I was like, so this is his whole like MO. Like I knew, like he would, this past week, he would randomly call me. I told this to I didn't tell you this. I didn't tell you this.
Well, you told me he called you and then at random hours of the night.
So he was like calling me. He was calling me whenever.
Which at that point, like, I don't know how you didn't see it then, girl.
No, I did see it. That's the thing. It's like I saw that this man was like like trying to love bomb manipulate me because he wanted me as like a human sex toy, which I'm like the sex was
when he was intoxicated.
When he was intoxicated, yes. The thing is like the sex was good, and like I'm not looking for anything serious right now. I want something casual. So I was like, this was good enough sex where like I'll do it a couple more times. I'll just see it through.
To be honest, for me though, like this opens up a little bit of a conversation because like I mean I guess we are in Pride Month, and it's worth mentioning that like I do not remember. I mean, of course, I did a show called White Savior about like famously like being found out that I was looking at like gay things, but that was never like my coming out. And like we've discussed our like whatever like early season episode 2, 3 if you want to go back revisit the season 1 files, but like I don't remember that feeling. Like I can't even revisiting the feeling of getting caught doing something.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember the feeling of being like in the closet or just.
Well, yeah, because you're not shameful about it anymore.
Of course, but like I look at some people and I'm like, okay, well, this person is gonna go about their life in 2 ways. Either he'll forever be DL for the rest of his life.
Probably
He will never see the light out of the closet ever. Or he'll reach a place one day in which he comes out as whatever we think that his orientation would be or he would identify as. But, like, you said he's 28, right?
Yeah, I think he honestly might be a little bit older than that. Maybe he was just saying that on
just
his profile.
Saying that, you know.
He is giving, like, early 30s.
And people, you know, of course, like, a great movie recommendation if you want to see Beginners with fucking Ewan McGregor and
Sad
Christopher
movie.
Plummer. Sad movie, but it's also a beautiful movie of like someone getting a chance at living an authentic life before their life is over, you know?
Sure.
And like it's such a beautiful film of Christopher Plummer's character coming out as a gay man in his 70s. What was it? The age was pretty late in the movie.
Yeah, he was an elderly man.
And you know, it's not a spoiler alert, but the whole movie's about him coming out before, you know, shit hits the fan.
With
literally.
his adult son.
And like I honestly, if there's anyone who even listens to this or watches this and you are DL and like we're your source of just like, I don't know, queer joy, that is beautiful. But also, let me tell you, it is so much nicer when you're just like,
oh my God.
Like this idea, this song and dance of like,
it made me feel bad for him.
Of course, like imagine like, you seeing this grown adult. I get not to shame, and we're not shaming them.
No.
It's just being reflected back at you. It's just like I'm seeing this adult man, like panic and like this fear, like this. Even though she was okay, so that could have helped.
No,
but just in
I'm
general,
sure it
you know,
didn't.
that I feel like we know other people, perhaps, you know, that we know through work or friendship, who may also be in the closet or not sure about their sexuality. And like
Mm-hmm.
that song of dance of just like getting so embarrassed when someone pinpoints something about something, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I've been made fun of so many times for being so open about myself sexually, being so sex positive, being just unashamed. But that really comes from a very deep rooted place of just like, I am never going to come anywhere near a place of like being remotely ashamed of anything.
No, it was like crazy. And like that's the thing, like he was hitting me up at all hours of the night. Like there was so he would like randomly call, and like there were a couple of nights where he would like call me like when I was asleep and then be like, "Oh, sorry, like I hit you up."
And
at,
then
like,
this bitch would answer.
well, no. So then the craziest one that happened was on Tuesday. The craziest one was on Tuesday where I come home, my roommate has her little like situationship over, they're sleeping, and it's like no. And so then like I come home late from work or whatever. I'm like, it's like 11. At this point, it's like maybe like 12:30, 1 a.m. Because I like had smoked a little bit. I'm like chilling at home, like journaling, whatever. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get ready for bed. So I go into the bathroom to brush my teeth. I look down at the floor. The biggest fucking cockroach I've ever seen in my entire life. And we are just Wild West, like staring each other down, like there's like across the bathroom from each other. And I was like, oh no, the door is closed behind me. I have to go get the Raid, which is under my kitchen sink. And I go think to myself, as soon as I open this door, if I open it quickly, it's gonna run. I have to move so slowly. So I leave my phone on the bathroom sink, and I'm like inching the door slowly open, not moving a muscle, just like going so slow, just so I don't freak it out. And then finally, I have enough crack for me to slip through the door. I run. I get the Raid, come back. The roach is gone, nowhere
Of
to
course,
be seen.
yeah, no.
I freak the fuck out. I immediately like spray from like from the hallway, like through the crack of the door as much as I can, and then I'm just standing there for like 15 minutes because I don't know what to do. I'm like, I can't go to bed. I can't leave until I figure out where the fuck this roach went, because it was. Sorry, excuse me, I'm burping. the taco from earlier, fucking huge. So I'm standing out there and I'm like freaking out. All of a sudden I hear a hissing noise, and I go, oh my god, it's in there.
A hissing?
Have you never heard a cockroach hiss before?
Title of episode.
It's so.
I have never heard a
it's
cockroach hiss before.
It's one of the grossest noises I've ever heard in my entire life.
I have never once.
Twice in my life have I heard it. It was last Tuesday and once in college. It was so nasty. And so then it had managed to it must have like walked into the Raid at some point on the floor and then crawled up into the bathtub and flipped over. So it was upside down in the bathtub, just like wriggling its body. So I see it and I go, thank God. I grab the Raid and I just spray it until it fucking stops moving. Stunning. I take a deep breath because, mind you, my phone was sitting on the bathroom sink this whole time. This whole ordeal was maybe 30 minutes. I look at my phone. I have multiple texts from this man and a missed FaceTime call from him. And him being like, he's like, hey, like, I don't know if you're up or around. Just, like, wanted to see, like, what's up, like, what you're up to. Like, hey.
Girl, this man is in such deep need for
the puss. And so
just connection with someone.
And and so then I text him. I said, hey, sorry, I'm dealing with a roach right now. And then I just thought he would be like, oh no, like, oh, like, so sorry, like, have a good night. He was like, oh my god, that's so gross. Just like hit me up when you're done. And I was like, girl, like, I don't know when that'll be. So then I did like dispose of it. It's like a whole thing. Thankfully it's trash day, so I take the trash out. It's like I put it outside or whatever. So that had been like another 30 minutes. So then finally I texted him and I was like, hey, like, you called? And then he calls me. FaceTimes me, answers it. And I'm like, hey. He's like, sup? I was like, I just fucking killed a roach. Like, I'm not in a horny mood.
This is like, you're just a nice person.
Next thing I know, he's slapping his dick on the camera. he's like, what's up? And I was like, oh, just killed the roach. And then he's like, yeah, and like slapping his dick on the camera. And I was like,
did not give two flying.
Oh, he did not.
Fucks he about.
He was high as fuck. I think he was on K. Because I said like,
girl. I cannot believe you fucking.
He told me he had smoked it. He was like, oh, I did that earlier. Because I said like I smoked a joint. And he was like, yeah, I did that earlier. But the way he was acting on the phone was the same way that he was acting when he came over yesterday. So I think he was on K when he called me. And so then he was like, yeah, you wanna he's like slapping his dick on the phone or whatever, and so then I'm like lifting up my shirt, like playing with my nipples because he loved my nipples and whatever, and he goes, no, show me that ass, show me that hole. And I was like, ugh, fine. So we have FaceTime sex. So then
Nick!
at that point I was horny, and so then I was like, okay, and so then I'm like bouncing my ass like in the camera, and he's like, yeah, good. He's like, yeah, I like that. I was like, yeah, you like that? And then like it was like, oh, I was actually pretty nice. I was like, wait, I'm kind of into this.
Maybe you like men on K.
No, I don't think it's that. I think
Special K, like the cereal.
I just think he was sexy and we had good sexual chemistry. That's the thing. But then the thing happened. So then he finishes. He like comes or whatever, and then he was like, so then he like rolls over and he goes, so what's up? Like, how's your day going? And I was like, oh my god, my day's going good. Like, we're chit chatting, we make small talk, whatever. And then I was like, I have to go to bed, and he's like, okay, yeah. He's like, I have to be up at like 6 a.m. Mind you, it's like 2 a.m. And I was like, okay, well, have a good night. And he's like, yeah, you too. And then we hang up and go to sleep. And then we made plans for Friday. And then we had that whole ordeal. But I was like, throughout that whole thing with like the roach, it was just so fucking funny for me to go from like a ew, to then me being like, yeah. And then nothing happened for me during that FaceTime call at all. Like, I didn't get to finish.
Well, of course you didn't. Well,
so, but much love to him. I'm wishing him the best.
Wishing you the best. Happy Pride Month. Hopefully one day you'll see a way out of whatever is making you, honestly, whatever is making you bury your feelings with all the drug use, which is not to say like that's any different than like drinking or any other kind of drug or like way to cope with whatever.
I mean, he is clearly going through something.
Clearly you're going through something, but we wish you the best. Hopefully you can find some,
my favorite was just, I feel so shitty doing this during Pride Month.
That is so... Well, my Pride Month has been going pretty well so far. I am not going to lie and say I have not topped more than I have bottomed. And...
Wait, you're not going to say that?
I'm not going to lie and say that I have not done that.
So you've topped more than you've
bottomed. I've
bottomed.
topped more than I've bottomed, but I've been making much more... Because I already... And now I don't want to get back because I don't want to keep repeating myself again, but what's been happening more lately is that this, for example, tomorrow is Father's Day. Right? Happy Father's Day to all of those who are fathers listening to this. I know we have moms who listen to this, and I know we've got... people in high school listen to this.
But if there are any dads who are hot...
any dads or daddies, please slide into my DMs first and foremost. Because those DMs from townspeople have actually slowed down. And I'm actually kind of upset. So actually, townspeople, time to hit my fucking DMs back up again with some nice dick videos of you jerking off. And like, because I don't know what's happening.
And my roster is now completely empty yet again. So please.
You would think, and also like, actually maybe you would think because now like, I'm like more in my verse era. Like, just trust and believe. I will not be sending you videos of me jerking off. That's just not what I'm providing. My best videos are my greatest hits version of me. It's just like me, like, shaking my ass and like doing like some good like Karol G moves on the bed.
Oh my God! Wait, give us an example, Diva.
Of a Karol G move?
Wait, what's a Karol G move? Did you like that? Was that enough questions?
That wasn't even a question about Karol G and her artistry. It was just a reference.
What kind of moves does Karol G do? That's me being inquisitive. Thank you. Listening and learning.
But lately, I've been finding that through some of the guys that I have fucked already, they're sending me like they're connecting me, I guess, with their guy. So this is my way in. I finally cracked the Sniffies grid. I've cracked the Sniffies grade into like now I'm getting invites for the groups. And so I have scheduled 2 groups tomorrow. I have one at 4 p.m. Is
there a Father's Day themed one?
Yes!
Okay, but is it a daddy cum dump? Is it like going to be like the dad is like the
8 p.m. is a daddy cum dump.
So it's the dad's a cum dump?
The dad's a cum dump. The 4 p.m.
You're gonna unload on the dad.
The 4 p.m. is just one that is 2 bottoms getting slotted out for Father's Day.
So these are for both of these. For both of these, you're topping.
Well, that's okay. So here's what's happening. Okay, here's what's going on, and that's kind of like a little bit of my town hall, really. And then I want to get into a question from the Google form too. But I just love. I needed to read one of these out loud because it is just really funny. Again, kudos to fucking gay queer men for like unlocking their freaking code of just sexual freedom and satisfaction, really. because okay, here's one of
I will
the
never be satisfied.
okay. Hearing this. Oh no,
Only
my God!
job
See,
is to marry
okay.
rich.
And
My
again-
mother had no son, so I'm the one who has to social climb for one. I'm the oldest and the wittiest and the gossip in New York City's and cityest.
Okay, Hamilton.
Satisfied.
Yes, I love that, Miss Rose.
Renee Elise Goldsberry.
Okay, so again,
I
this-
know my sister like I know my own mind. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Okay, this is a good song. Again,
I've never seen Hamilton.
this
by the way.
is this is I saw it on Disney Plus
I
during the
never
pandemic.
watched. I never watched.
I saw it and it was good. And I was like, Mom, you should watch this. This is art. And she was like, what the fuck's happening? My mom was just like, I don't know where these people are. But she liked it, you know?
Good for her.
So this probably, and I mean, we are wrapping up the season. So I feel more comfortable just like, because this is my life and I'm not here to like lie to the townspeople, town council, or trust and believers. Like I am not here to just give you a different kind of story just to give you just for like I'm trying to be like a real person talking about my real weekly going ons. And like the truth of the matter is that this past week my going ons really have just been working, preparing for some stuff for like my schedule for Pride weekend, and just I saw Miss Thomas, who's a coworker of ours.
Mini golf.
We went to go mini golf. We went to Grand Banks after, made friends with the maitre d' there, who
Grand
loved
Banks.
us.
Is that the one? Is that the one that we
by the
went-
water?
Oh, I'm thinking of a different place. Where's the bar that we went to where that drag queen fully knocked the table over and got cut?
That's in Brooklyn, honey.
Oh,
That's in deep Brooklyn.
The
remember?
Gram.
The Gram. Oh my gosh! Shout out to that drag queen. I hope she healed.
I'm sure she did.
But anyway, so I still, unfortunately, am at a place where like I think I'm like reaching kind of like. I think this group situation that I'm doing as a top and just sex groups, I've reached. I think I can feel myself reaching the climax of my sexual exploration as a top, because I went to a group this past week too, and I feel a lot more comfortable because I have been doing it more often, and I feel like I find a sense of self within these spaces in which like now. As a leader, I find myself kind of like also doing more stuff around. Like I'm really coming into my own, which I really like. But there's always this underlying thought in the back of my head. And when I've been having I had a couple threesomes and a couple like group settings in which I was like, no, I want to be the bottom. Does that make sense? Like I'm participating because like yeah, whatever, you know, like a hole's a hole.
I hate you.
Just kidding. And these guys are cute. This one guy, I went to this guy's.
You're not kidding.
I went to this guy's place because I had two options. It was at 5039. I had two options, literally the same corner. At 5039, total up. Two guys. It was one guy. Two different guys hit me up who were like literally by the same corner. And I was like, well, I'm going to pick the cutest one, of course. So I picked the cutest one, right? This is like, guys. Listen, whatever. I'm not here to judge myself, and I'm not here to get judged. So we're all friends.
That's what I'm here for.
Yes. We're all family. And you know what? Whatever is whatever. You know, I'm just being myself. And in 10 years, when I'm fully acclaimed and I have Emmys and Oscars, I want to look back at this and like say that I was honest about myself. And I was never lying about.
And meanwhile, they'll be using these clips to cancel you.
What's there to cancel me about?
Upholding the patriarchy.
I'm not holding anything.
Girl.
I'm a fucking Trojan horse in the fucking sex industry, sex
Eurocentric
life.
You're upholding
New York
Eurocentric
City.
beauty standards.
No. I'm breaking through as a freaking like proud Latin queer immigrant bottom in this New York
The gay
City.
male beauty standards. You're a proponent of that.
I'm not a proponent of them. But
You're
I'm
upholding
not a proponent of
that.
it, but I'm not saying a guy who's hot is not hot. Like a guy is hot, so sue me.
You want to go to the
I find
hotter
a guy
one.
hot.
You want to go to the hotter one. What about the connection with the emotional connection?
No, well, fuck them both. So this is why. So I was at the corner of, it was 56th and 9th or 53rd and 9th, one of those two. And like I get hit up with this other guy, and I was like, damn. So I was like, okay, both wanted me to top. And so one was like taking his time, and I was like, he was the cuter one, but I was like, and they were both pretty sexy, different types. One was like more like my body frame, in which I felt like I could probably maybe do more. The other one was like one of those like beefier, more muscular guys that I'm just like, I'm finding out that like while it is fun to have sex with them. I don't find as much freedom because they're just so much bigger than me, and there's less room, you know. Like I can't, like even reaching over or trying to do something is just like I'm small, like I'm 5'6", so like trying to do that with a guy who's like 5'11", 5'10", who like has like thick thighs and like broad shoulders, like it's just hard to maneuver. It's just, to me, I'm finding out it's just not. It's harder to feel dominant. So I was like, okay.
My sister wants to be dominant.
I mean, if I'm gonna be doing it, I might as well fucking dive in, bitch. You know, I'm a character actor. I fucking commit. So.
Oh my god.
So I was like, okay. The guy finally is like, oh, I'm here. So I was like, okay, like I'm gonna go there real quick. Sorry to the other guy. I just left him on red. Not on red, but like I'll have been like.
Wow.
I had just
You're a part of the problem.
No. I didn't. No. What I had said, didn't leave him on red. It's just I had left him on the last question I asked, which was just like, "Are you ready?"
You
or
clean?
something.
You're whole clean.
Have never once asked if someone was clean, and you can quote me on that, and the receipts are there for anyone who had whatever. So I left him with a question. I was just like kind of like sent a question for him to answer, just so I had time to just do something, you know, and then be like, "Sorry, I had to leave the neighborhood." So I think I said something like, can I come now? Just a random question. And so I went to the other guy's place. I go there, and as soon as I get there, he's like on his bed, and then like I'm about to start, and he's like, hey, just so you know, my boyfriend's coming in 5 minutes. And I was like, okay. So like we started fucking, and I'm like, but now I'm like, I don't want to fucking like, because he just kept looking at his phone, and I was like, I'm like,
while you're fucking
in the midst of it, because he was like checking the boyfriend's location, and so I was like,
are they open?
I don't know, didn't ask. I'm not gonna ask that when I have my penis inside someone. I'm like, you guys open? I'm already doing it. So.
Well, then you would need to know, like, if he's cheating, then you gotta go quick so you can get the fuck out of there.
That was in my head. That was just like, even if if he's cheating, or if they're open, but the boyfriend can't find the guy here, like I'm already in your apartment, so I can't, you know, like. So then, I decided to just like pretend like I came. So it was just like, oh, okay, great. We know. He was like, you said 5 minutes. He was like, yeah. He's like literally up the block. And I was like, all right, cool. And he was like, you're cute though. And I was like, you are too. Because then he took his blindfold off because he took his blindfold off.
Right.
Because halfway through he took it off because he was checking on his phone, and that's when he looked back and saw me. And then I was like, and then he like was smiling, and he was like clearly into me, and I was into him. So that's when I was done, quote unquote, he was like, but you're cute, so you should come over again. So I was like, yeah, for sure. So then when I left, I was like, I pretended I came, so I didn't come. So then I go back on Sniffies, and I hit up the other guy, and I was just like, hey. And all he had said was just like, I'm here. So I was like, okay. So I went over to the other guy's place.
You nasty, dirty top. You.
And I went to the other guy's place. And he had this like wings tattoo on the back of his back was like a huge wing tattoo, like wings. And I was like, I'm not about to fuck this guy with fucking wings tattooed on his back. Go there.
Y'all are soaring, flying. There's not a storm.
But so I'm finding out that through these connections that I'm making, a lot of these guys are like going to like other kinds of like groups and whatever. So like I've been getting invites to other groups now. To go back to the group tomorrow. There's this group. Celebrate Father's Day and come breed us. Ass up in the Hell's Kitchen Hotel. Quick-comers hung or
not
fit.
Another hotel.
Quick-comers hung or fit under 50 on prep or U equals U. Please send us dick and body pics and stats and mention this group. Bring any hot tub buddies. So that's one that got invited to.
Did they say hot tub buddies?
No, bring any hot top buddies.
Oh, okay.
That is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Then there's tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Can I see the photos of the people going?
Let's see.
Because I'd just be shopping for a top.
Okay. So, because you know I'm rotted. What I've kind of been doing, because I know...
Networking, passing your card out.
Oh, man!
Be like, maybe next time you can fuck me. I know my sister. I know her too well.
Networking for dick. Because I'm like, okay, like some of these guys are putting in good work, like great, like they're doing all these groups, great, like some of these guys like to fuck them, great. But what I am finding is just like in anything, it's a numbers game. So it could say that there's 30 attending, but only like 11, 12 show up. And so I'm finding that without fail, Nick, in all of these groups, I always get at least like 3 messages from people attending being like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, how do they find me, They're like, well, and then I go and I check the attending. They're clocking me too. Because my main photo on Miss Sniffies is not my dick. It's not like my chest, my abs. I don't have any of that. Like, it's me, like, with my back is my ass shot. So these tops are looking at other people going just like I'm looking at the other tops. And trust and believe, honey, I am going to the other tops, being like, hey, what's up? You going? Because they're doing that to me too. So I know I'm not the only one. So some of those guys are, or a really popular one that I'm finding, a guy just today messaged me about this. He was like, are you going? Because I feel I want to tag with you. Like, they're scouting.
Hold hands.
They're scouting who they want to tag with. And then they're like face pick, so like they're like scouting because they want to, everyone's out there to fulfill like their own fantasy and like how they want it to happen. And like, honestly, I'm kind of living. So I think I one of them tomorrow. I have like 2 guys that they want to tag with me. So I'm like, okay, like I think I want to join it. But however, one of them I already have on lock because I was like, listen, and not for nothing, but your cock is great. So if you want to breed me. God. And he's like, yeah, because a big rule is, you don't, a lot of these bottoms hosting is like, no bottoms, they don't want any other little bottom there, to just randomly get themselves ass up. No, you would get yourself canceled from the party. So now I'm making plans because I know I'm coming to an end. This is just temporary. I can feel it in my body. I can feel it. Like I'm reaching an end of like how I'm enjoying this. So I want to go out with a bang. Like I want to finish Pride Month, going to as many groups as I can, having as many different experiences as I can, because I just know I'm like reaching my point. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I think there's only so much more that I kind of want to try and experience in these like sex party and group settings, and then take a step back and then be like, okay, we're going on this hiatus too, and I feel like it's going to be a really good time for me to figure out like, okay, like what is it that I want? Like,
do I want to keep topping?
But I mean, it is true though. I mean, did I enjoy it? Am I enjoying it? A lot. But like, I also need to start matching that with like what I'm looking for in a partner, because it's a question that you've brought up with me plenty of times. And it's a question I haven't really been able to answer yet. So there's no way I'm going to be able to figure out by just fucking like left and right every fucking day. There's just no way you can take a step back and figure out what you want doing all these things. So I'm listening. And I'm breeding. Listening and breeding, title of up. But knowing that I'm definitely reaching a place in which like, okay, I think I'm tapping out. I've done as much as I want to do or what I feel comfortable or sexy doing. Now it's time to like really put the groundwork in like, I want a boyfriend really bad.
Yeah.
And like I want to, and I feel like I had like a tease of that the past couple of weeks, and even though like I'm still a little bit like hurt from that, it made the possibility of like me really like finding someone a bit more like attainable to me, and like now plus all those sexual questions I have about myself, I feel like I have a lot of inner work to do on like what I want from sex and from relationships.
Oh my god. What's your pioneer?
Already?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't think so. I think it's short.
It's an hour. Right now I'm at an hour.
You are? Oh my god. Wait, can I make my pioneer this submission? Yes. And I know actually a quick shout out to Errol. Number 1, honestly, I think we might have to promote Errol to town council founding member for next season, because Errol's been around since day 1. Shout out Errol, we love you. And I wanted to say, if Errol submitted a town form about since it's our last episode next next week.
Mm-hmm.
So for our next recording, I feel like it would be fun to just make it pride based. I think Errol was thinking like talk about like our first pride, our most memorable pride, like crazy pride stories. I don't think we've actually ever talked about that since we're going on hiatus before we get to talk about pride.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a really good thing to do in our last episode leading into pride. Just talk about like pride stories, pride whatever, and anything pride related. I think we can do so. We're gonna have that on deck. But my pioneer is gonna be this 24-year-old female from Miami, Florida. Shout out!
Shout out.
A lot of Floridians on our freaking town. Hey, you two, long-time listener, first-time questioner. This question is for Peru. I know you're really into anime manga. Yes. Have you ever dabbled into reading BL, boys love, manga or manhwa? I really want to know your thoughts and have tons of recommendations if you're getting already into it. Love you both. P.S. Nick, I've watched your hair grow and flourish, and you are taking it with each passing week.
Oh, period. Thank you.
Oh, now you're into her. Wow.
Well, I don't read manga, but shout out, sis.
Shout out, sis. No, but I will say, so I have not. I feel like. Because Boys Love is like a pretty extensive series, right?
Is it gay?
Yes. Okay. So, and I know also, I don't know if, because I'm assuming if you like anime and manga, do you also like K-dramas or, like J-dramas? Because one of the other things I've been wanting to watch is Boys Over Flowers, which is like an iconic, and please don't kill me, I'm not sure if it's J or K. It's one of those, but it's like a famous, iconic, like early 2000s, soap opera basically of their market. But it's all about like boys in like school, and like the boys are like boying, and like it's super queer coded, but like really groundbreaking for like that market too. But honestly, now that you bring back Boys Love, and I know that people really enjoy it, and I'm really trying to live like my romantic fantasy too now, and trying to get detached from as much as from sex as I have been lately.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might get started, but I'm open to suggestions. So if you want to DM me or comment on the Patreon, give me any of your suggestions for some cute summer. Oh my god, I could bring a manga to fucking P-Town, bitch. I'm gonna gag everyone in my fucking thong. Reading some manga on the fucking beach, on the fucking pool. Oh, they're gonna be like, oh, he's like kind of like interesting. He's like,
oh, interesting is certainly a word I would use.
Oh, shut up. So you're my pioneer. Thank you for your submission.
My trailblazer for the week is gonna be ketamine. No, I'm kidding. No, I think my trailblazer for the week is gonna be Dakota Johnson. I've been kind of loving her interviews. She did Amy Poehler's podcast, Good Hang.
Yeah, I saw a clip,
and I watched the whole thing yesterday, and I'm like, oh, Dakota Johnson is like kind of funny.
Yeah, and I think a great example of a nepo baby who gets it, and like
and like I do want to
doing good work.
I do want to see The Materialist.
Do you want to go see it together, please? Because it seems like it's actually kind of like romance too, and like Miss Pedro.
Well, I want to see it soon. Do you want to see it next weekend?
Yes. You know why? Oh, you know who might want to go see it too? Miss Matt.
Wait, we could go get dinner.
Should we do a triple date?
We'll do our dinner, and then we can go see the movie. Because remember, he wants to do dinner.
Oh my god. Okay, let's lock and load it. Because I was saying next weekend I want to keep it not too crazy because the following weekend is Pride. Right. So like next weekend I kind of just want to be like movie, like something low key, not really going to bars, really just.
Yeah, and honestly, we don't even have to do dinner. We could just do the movie.
I mean, dinner's cute and movie,
Gala margarita.
Yeah. Okay, cute. Wait. Well, thank you all. We're going to be actually recording the town council assembly on a separate day like we have been lately. But honestly, that's been kind of fun. It's been giving the thing a break. And honestly, I feel like it feels much fresher. And the last two town council assemblies have been an hour and a half, bitch. So we're putting in the content in there. Plus this vlog that we're posting. Remember, if you don't want to miss out on our shenanigans over the summer hiatus, you can join us on our Patreon. We're going to be continuing doing the weekly episodes there for Town Council Assembly and Trust and Believers. Link is in all of our bios and descriptions. But no worries, we'll be here for you to revisit previous episodes. We've got one more episode to go before the end of the season, but it's right before Pride. We'll come in with some big Pride energy. Resist, fuck ice, And
Period.
And democracy stands here, and here we uplift queer, brown, immigrant voices. And you know what? They're not gonna silence us. We're here to stay.
You can follow us at Pioneers and Trailblazers. Subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. You can follow Peru at Hey Peru everywhere. You can follow me at Nicholas.Rose on Instagram, ClownfaceBinge on TikTok, and ClownfaceBitch on Twitter.
We love you all.
Bye.